Whew. Aiken boy. Yeah. You clearly weren't happy that Big Eric eliminated you in that battle royal, hey, and Damian Priest dived on you. You come here, you've taken me Mania payday, and now you want to quit, buddy. Aiken is unhappy and wants to leave. He's requested that he be released from his contract, as his request you don't have to pay anything to win the contract. I feel like I have to let him go. And Razor can just be Gargano's solo henchman. But that seems silly. But I don't know what will happen if I say reject. I mean, AOP haven't really been wrestling. I can't even remember the last time they had a match. So I guess I'll get rid of him. But he was a key part of one of the hottest angles in last year. And he's got like 70 pop because he stood next to Seth Rollins for so long. I'm conflicted. Reject. We'll let him go. We're not in the business of keeping unhappy wrestlers about. Ignore these morale issues down here. I would give Post-Mania pay raises to everyone, but I've just spent about $60 million upgrading the network, so I can't do that. On the plus side, though, the network is now very big and everywhere. And yeah, we're on the road to being just dominating the wrestling world once we get back up to large, which I think will be... I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll cover that all. Anyway, hello. On that sad note of the departure of one member of the church, we're on the other side of WrestleMania. It feels weird to be this side of WrestleMania. It feels weird to not be thinking ahead to things that I know are coming. If you get me. But, yeah. We're going to have a quick State of the Universe, end of season wrap up. And I'm going to, go over the roster, all the pops, obviously state of all the other companies, company info and all that. And then, of course, everyone's favourite part, the goal setting, which I do have a couple of things I want to say about the goal setting this time, so pay attention to that. Anyway, we start. Brand split is not important. We'll check our creative meeting, sure. These are our post-WrestleMania franchise players. John Cena is number 1, Brock Lesnar is number 2, Seth Rollins is number 3, Randy Orton is number 4, and The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, is number 5. Seth is at 90, yeah. Randy's at 96.7. What's John Cena at? Meh, low to mid 90s. Brock's at low 90s, high 80s. And Bray's at low 90s. Okay, that's fair enough, yeah. Next big things, Paige, Liv Morgan, Mackie, and Angel Garza. The fact that Paige is on there makes me laugh, considering, she's retired. But she's there. Liv, sure. Angel Garza, most definitely. And Mackie, most absolutely definitely. This fucking queen. I'll get to her in a minute. Hot prospects, Brandy, Liv, Peyton, Mackie, and Tony. All these women, the future of the women's division is looking fucking bright. Talk the talk is John Cena, Bray, Edge, The Miz, and Becky. Showstoppers. Seth Rollins, Andrade, Io Shirai, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Daniel Bryan. Ring generals are Bryan, Gargano, Seth, Andrade, and AJ Styles. And who's hot? Rey Mysterio, Ember Moon, Apollo Crews, Raquel, and Dakota. Who's not? Nobody. Okay. And hidden gems are just these people. Yeah, figurehead. Who's our current figurehead? We don't have one. Okay. These are the people that can be our figurehead. We could set our figurehead as Isaiah Scott. Let's see what the game says about yet. Didn't think so. We can set our figurehead to be... Who's the next most wacky random name in here? Bronson Reed? No. Candice LeRae? Oh, she's an amazing babyface. Ah, I see. Candice has one thing going for her. Who would be our best choice, actually? Fiend is potential, very close to... AJ Lee is very close to being potential figurehead. AJ Styles would be a poor choice. Asa Black has some good qualities. Andrade is very close. Garza's poor. Bailey has some. Bianca Belair is terrible, apparently. Big E is pretty good. Lashley and Braun would be poor. Bronson Reed has nothing. Murphy would be poor. He's very over, but he's got nothing else going for him, bless him. Io Shirai is pretty good at being figurehead. Jeff Hardy's also very close, apparently. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Roster. Let's go over the roster. We're going to start with who are perceived active wrestlers. I'm assuming this is going to keep Brock Lesnar and Edge and all them in there. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, these are our major stars heading into season 3. Bray, 92, 93, sort of pop, just sculpting over Aleister Black in the Funhouse. Yeah. AJ Styles, low 70s. He's actually on a bit of a slope in terms of popularity. I do think he's a shout for somebody that I could put as the most underutilized person in this save. He did get the SummerSlam title match, but other than that, he hasn't really done much of note. But he could have a decent season 3 ahead of him, because I've got ideas. Aleister Black, high 80s, low 90s, was even higher than that, but I guess he lost some at Mania. Yeah, he was at 93, 91s at some point. Andrade, again, somebody who has been losing a fair bit, but he's actually been getting more over. It's actually the most over he's ever been. So yeah, hopefully he won't ask for his release on my world. Big E, whoa, he really exploded. All of a sudden, in these last 2 months, Big E's become a world beater. And he's now going solo, of course. So we'll see what the future holds for him. Lashley, we're sort of getting him back on track now. He was down bad here, but he's on a roll again. He's the most popular he's ever been, actually. The Almighty may become world champion in my world too in season 3. Who knows? Brock, I think, might have dropped a little bit here. He's actually at 97 at one point, but then I had to take 10 off for failing the goal. So he's been slowly working his way back up since then. So yeah, that wasn't actually Keith Lee's fault. Buddy Murphy, very over. Very, very over, in fact. Look at him, just a steady climb from the start of last year. So could be the MVP of season 3. Cesaro, nah. Charlotte, doing pretty good. Damian Priest's in here now after beating Gargano. Daniel Bryan, another person whose pop sort of stagnated. He was here when he was the Universal Champion. Now he's going back down to sort of where he began, which I guess fair enough. McIntyre, high 80s. Edge is at 94.5. John Cena, low mid 90s. John Morrison, in fact, was well known going into WrestleMania, and just being in those segments has increased him in as much as 22 popularity in some places. Fucking mad that WrestleMania has that much of an effect on people's pops. But yeah, Morrison is now a major star, along with The Miz, who I can see on the bottom there. Gargano, believe it or not, has actually gone down a fair bit. He was at 86, 87s, 90s in some places. But losing a Priest, I think it's fine because he's one of those guys that's going to score good regardless. So he helped, really. Karrion Kross, again, was at, terrible pop. Well, not terrible, but like low 50s. He was actually winning matches on main event from like August. You can see there from when I decided. Funnily enough, and you can tell I decided after SummerSlam to book ahead to Mania. I knew he was going to win the title, so I started booking him on main event to win matches. And then, obviously, in February there, he was the champion. And steady climb ever since then, so he's now up here with the big boys. Big Keith, another person who came up at like 50s, 60s pop, and then just being booked strong. He beat Braun, beating Brock Lesnar at Mania, tipped him over the edge, and now he's, again, a big player heading into Season 3. Kevin Owens, just somebody I've booked strong all the way through, apart from guessing June here. Where was that when he lost the title to? No, he was the champion then. He beat Andrade for it. Okay, I don't know what happened there. That's all in the past though, because he's all in the light blues now, and he's gonna got all the tools to be a major star. Again, he's gonna be just that gatekeeper, I guess. Not to say that he's never gonna win the title or anything, but like he can dip down and elevate people up, especially as a heel now. Any babyface up on the rise can go through Kev. Corbin, very much downwards trajectory after becoming the Universal Champion, and yeah, he's lost it, and he's now just falling back to where Corbin should sort of fall. Ali, very important character heading into Season 3. At this current moment in time, my favourite character to book in this game. Who knows what Season 3 holds for him. Me, obviously, I do have exact ideas of where Ali's going, and it should be interesting. Otis, still a major star. What a year he had. WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, and steady rise. This is actually the first time all year that he dropped this month, but it's fine. He's got enough charm and charisma and a solid plan for him that should see him maintain that popularity throughout the next year. Randall Keith, just a fucking man right now. Started at 80, he's now at 96, 97, 95 sort of area, and he's just the top boy, most popular wrestler in the world, I believe, right now. And I'm going to make a guess that he probably won't be this over this time next year, because, you know, peaks and valleys and shit. And once he loses the title, he's probably going to, like, just fall into, like, the normal Randy Orton role. But as of right now, it's his goddamn time. He's just the man. Roman Reigns, high 80s again, working his way back up from when I had to take 10 off him for punishing. When did that happen, actually? Was it here? Yeah, because, and then he must have gained 5 pop since then. And now he's dropped a little bit because he helped put Cross over, but he didn't lose. He lost about 4 pop all over the board, whereas Cross gained like 10, so it's a fair trade. Samuel Zayn became a hero once again at WrestleMania. The popularity growth shows it, and very, very, very important character heading into Season 3. Samoa Joe, somebody I hope to heat up again soon after he won the Andre the Giant War Battle Royal. Sort of background player last season, but Samoa Joe, who knows? Hopefully I can find ideas for him, because creative really had nothing for him that much this year. And that was a shame. He fought Brock Lesnar, and that was about it. He was the general manager, which I did enjoy him being the GM, but then I decided I was going to bring him back into the ring. But then once he got back into the ring, that's where the ideas ran short. So hopefully this year Joe will be treated a little bit better. Seth Rollins, he was the guy, my personal vote for Superstar of the Year for Season 1 and 2. And I probably won't be that much of a focal. He'll still be an important part of my show, but he's had his main arc is now over. So who knows what the next season holds for Seth. And The Miz, who, again, had been losing a fair lot, was only well known before WrestleMania. As you can see, pop, down, 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 up, and then way up, because he got beat up by some old people. Never say that's burying ever again, because this game begs to differ. Stars. And this is where I'm going to say a lot, because the women's division is looking tasty heading into next season. because we had Charlotte in Major Stars. We got AJ Lee in Star here, 67 odd pop. Bailey, Bianca, Candice, Dakota, Io, Sasha, and Zelina, and she's not in here, but also Paige is Star, and somebody else, very near and dear to my heart, who may or may not be returning at some point in season 3, will also be either in the Star or Major Star category when they arrive. So yeah, important division heading into the next season will be the women's division. Well known. Again, it's all a thing of popularity, or not popularity, momentum, because she's down here with 72 because she had to get bodied when I had to take 10 popularity points off. But I'm sure, like, if I bring her back and she gets more momentum, she'll be straight back up into Stars. Plus, I'm not exactly going to book her like shit anyway, so it's fine. Asuka, I actually think this is the most over she's ever been. Or no, she's joined back to like nearly where she started, but a active acknowledgement that I don't believe Asuka has had the greatest year under me. Maybe she'll have a better year next year. I hope it. Especially now she's not retiring, because I thought she was retiring and I felt bad because I didn't really do anything with her. But that is now a wake-up call, is that she needs to be doing more next year. Who else is down here I want to talk about? Big Show is still here, apparently. I want to fire him because he went in real life, but he's actually in rehab right now, and that feels like a shitty thing to do. Chad Gable, he was a star, but he got beat, so he's dropped, I guess. Ember Moon, Kyrie, all these other women. So there are even women down here. Asuka, obviously I'm not counting Becky. I assume she's gonna rock straight back up when she comes back. You got Ember, Kyrie, Liv, Sonya's down there. I can see Shayna, like the Ruby Riott as well. Yeah, Raquel's in here after her big night. So you have got a very good core of respectably other women heading into this next season. So the women's division may be getting a lot more shine, especially as some of the top guys like slowly age out, like AJ Styles, Morrison, Miz, Lashley, Braun, all them people, they sort of get older. So I'm not going to be as desperate to fit them on pay-per-view match cards, so maybe the women will get more of a shine. Recognisable. Finally, after a year of trying, all of members of J-Flow are now recognisable. Working at WrestleMania segments really did them good. Maki's now at fluctuating between 43 and 52, which is nice. She's the most over member of the group. I think Mizuki's the lowest. I think it goes Maki, then Mina, then Tam, then Marika, then Mizuki. Shotzi again, another woman who might have a big year. Toni Storm, another one. Nikki Cross and Kaylee Ray. Lexa, who got a fair bit of votes as most underutilized, so I'm going to try and find more stuff for her to do this year. Finally, unimportant is just the bottom, like, not in terms of priority, but most of these are just new. Like Aaliyah, she's still in the grand scheme of things respectably new. Bo sort of just returned. Brandy, same as Aaliyah. Candy Floss, same as them. Eva Ryzer, new. Cynthia doesn't wrestle. Dabakato, again, kind of new. Indy, Casey, all these sort of people that haven't really had the spotlight on them for that long. So I'm not going to be too angry. The only people down here that I don't expect to see down here is like Lacey. But again, I can't remember the last time I booked her to win because she was, for the longest time, just my heels on Raw were Charlotte, Sonya, somebody else, Ruby, Candice, and Lacey. So Lacey was just the go-to female heel jobber for a while. So maybe she can get put on a roster with like people that I care about slightly less. Without sounding horrible, and maybe she can get a little bit of shine this time. But that's all done now. And what was next on the agenda? State of the Universe. We'll start with the size of the WWE. We're ranked first in the world. 81. We're going to go straight up to big. but we've got to wait 27 days because of the cooling down period, so that'll be after the first pay-per-views back, Backlash and Payback, if I keep those names. I toyed with the idea of changing the pay-per-view schedule up, but I'm decided I'm going to keep it as it was. I might rename a couple of them to spice it up a little bit. And mainly the main schedule is going to be all as it was last time. We will check our titles first. Onto the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the Prestige flew up 10 because Samoa Joe won it. And he joined Cesaro, Big Show, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Matt Hardy, Braun Strowman, and him as previous winners of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I've just realised that because in real life, no, there's only 2. For some reason, I thought there was 3. It's like as many people that are in AEW now have won it as that are in WWE, but no, there's only Matt Hardy and Big Show. So, Money in the Bank was won by Murphy and only Murphy. John Cena won the Royal Rumble. Sasha won Women's Money in the Bank. Women's Rumble was won by Bianca Belair. Women's Battle Royal, what's the pop like on this? The Prestige even 55 because of Rhea. The WWE World Cup was won by John Cena. Women's Tag Team Champions, Paige and AJ Lee. The prestige for these belts, it's going up, because it started at piss poor. And the whole season started with Alexa and Nikki as the champions after WrestleMania. Kabuki Warriors won them back. Then Dakota and Raquel won them. Trish and Leah held them for a month. Io and Kairi won them. Then Candice and Ruby, and then now AJ and Paige. Quite a nice little history we're building up there for those. SmackDown Tag. We started with John Morrison and The Miz, I believe, as the champions, Then Kofi and Big E won them. Then Death from Above won them at SummerSlam. Quickly had to vacate them because Lindsay got injured. And the Usos won the vacant titles. We give them to the Dirty Dogs for a while just to spice things up. Usos won them back, and now Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio hold them. Raw Tag Team titles are the New Day, their 10th tag team title reign. It started with the Street Profits, then Aussie Might won them, then VIP Nation, back to Aussie Might, Kofi and Woods, and then the Vega Mafia, and then the New Day won them back again. Intercontinental Champion, Damian Priest. We started with Sami Zayn. Don't ignore that he's in there twice. I don't know why. That must have been just a mess up when I was changing the mod around. Sami won it. So he started it with RT beat Braun for it. Dropped it to Cesaro. Then Johnny Gargano, then Otis, then back to Gargano, and then Damian Priest. And that's actually a decent little lineup there. Like, it's changed a fair number of times, but not too often. So, US champion. We started with Andrade as our champion. Kevin Owens beat him at Money in the Bank. Then Lashley beat Kev at SummerSlam. Apollo beat Lashley at the Christmas Chaos. Then Gable beat Apollo at Smackville. And now Shinsuke's got it for the 3rd time. SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair has that now. And we started with Bayley, obviously with her long reign. Paige won it at SummerSlam, then was immediately cashed in on by Sasha. Ember Moon won it, then Sasha won it back from her at the Rumble. And now Bianca Belair is the champion. Raw Women's Championship has had a lot less reigns. This something I've always noticed is that when I book these games, the Raw Women's title specifically always seems to be the one that I flip-flop the least for some reason. I don't know why. But we've only had 3 champions. Shayna won it after Becky dropped it because she went off pregnant. Then Liv won it at SummerSlam. Io won that at High Voltage, and now she still has it to this day. Universal Champion. We started with Braun after he beat Goldberg at Mania. Bryan beat him at SummerSlam for it. Dropped it to Corbin at No Mercy, who dropped it to Mustafa Ali at Christmas Chaos. And then Ali dropped it to Karrion Kross at the Royal Rumble, who's just defended it against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And the big old WWE Championship has the most bizarre history of any belt in this company, because you all demand I put the world title on people more than you do any other titles. And Drew McIntyre started with it. Murphy won it. Otis won it for a week. But hey ho, he's a former champion. It goes in the history books. and then Seth won it, and now Randy has it still. And last but certainly not least, this title. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but let's see how many champions we actually did for this whole season. Freestyle with Rob Gronkowski, R-Truth, Oney, Bo. If you can remember any of these, then fair play to you, because I don't know if I can. So apparently I went Gronk, Truth, Oney, Bo, Truth, Oney, Corbin, Bo, Truth, Jinder, Truth, Lana, Oney, Titus, Truth, Charlie, Truth, Laurinaitis, Truth, Road Dogg, Truth, Pierce, Truth, Ivar, Truth, Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, R-Truth, Robert Stone, Truth, Stone, Big Show. This was SummerSlam. I know because Big Show's there. Robert Stone, Mackie, Elias, R-Truth, Sir Robert Stone, R-Truth, Carly, Otis, R-Truth, Carly, Robert Stone, R-Truth, Vacant, Robert Stone, R-Truth, Carly, R-Truth, Robert Stone, Tam, Robert Stone, Saint Mick, Oney, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Otis, Carly. I believe this was the famous banana peel incident here. R-Truth, Robert Stone, Carly, Mackie, Miz, R-Truth. Let's check around the world then. This is the one you care about most, I'm assuming. Let's have a look at their news. AEW Dark's had a lot of runs. So it's Dynamite. It's off ITV4 apparently. Penelope extends their deal. Britt extends. That's Kazarian leaving there. Their titles. The TNT champion is Broken Matt Hardy. I believe he's held that since SummerSlam because the last time we checked this, he was the champion. The women's world champion is Lillian Cool. Who are you? Are you a regen? Yeah, she's a Nightmare Factory regen. She's on $8 per show, and she's their women's champion. What's your pop rise looking like? Are you actually getting over? Not particularly, but AEW have put their belt on a woman with 14 popularity. The jokes just write themselves. She beat Nyla Rose, who beat Shida, who beat Nyla, who beat Riho. Pac is the world champion who beat Jon Moxley. I believe he's held this since the last time as well. And then FTR are the tag team champions. They ended the nearly 1 year run of Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Anyone interesting on their roster that shouldn't be here? Angelina Love is here. Any other names sticking out to me? Kathy Rivera looks like a regen, yeah. Eva Riggs is a regen too. I'm going to get into regens in a minute when we look at our developmental company. Kevin Watson, he's a regen too. Any other actual wrestlers that shouldn't be here? Mike Posey is a referee. Nicole Savoy. Brody Lee, of course, still going in this save. Much better timeline in that regard. This guy looks sick. He looks like Pineapple Pete's protege. No, they don't think they've signed too many interesting other women. Yuka is still here, and I would like to get her at some point, but I do have a lot of Joshis already. Shida's contract came up, I couldn't get her because they extended her, so that annoys me. We'll check Impact. Have they got any interesting news? Not really. Rosemary leaves Impact. Lacey Ryan leaves Impact. I wonder what happened to those two. Their roster. Bleh. Tiana's here. I can't get her back. She was part of the Black Friday cuts. That's annoying. No one really interesting. Who are their champions? Knockouts champion is Madison Rayne. World champion Michael Elgin. World Tag Team champions Glenn Gilberti and Johnny Bravo. And the X Division champion is Willie Mack. New Japan Pro Wrestling, their champions. Best of Super Juniors was won by Kenta. The G1 was won by Okada. Ibushi is the IWGP champion. Suzuki is the Intercontinental champion. Kenta is the Junior Heavyweight champion. Show and Yo were the tag team junior champions. The IWGP tag team champions are Evil and Sonata. Bad Luck Fale is the US champ. Nagara is the Never champ. He is the Never champ. Ryuli, Kizzy, and Daisuke Harada are the Never Openweight 6-man. New Japan Cup was won by Will Ospreay. Hiromu and Bushi won Super Junior Tag League, and the World Tag League was won by Nagata and Ryuli. Any other companies we need to check? We'll check Ring of Honor. Why not? What are their champions looking like? Pure champion is Silas Young. The Survivor of the Fittest was Marty Scurll. Last time it was run. Haven't run that either. Lindsay Snow is the women's world champion. Flip Gordon is their world champion. Flip, Jay Briscoe, and Mark Briscoe. That's a troublesome trio. And they're the 6-man champions. Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham are the tag champs, and Alex Shelley is the world TV champ. I do want to check Stardom as well. The trios titles are vacant because I've signed all of them. Actually, haven't crowned champion since July. Momo is still the Future of Stardom champion, which fair enough. Because I can't sign her because she's a trueborn. Oh, because believe me, I've tried. Goddesses of Stardom is Def Yamasan and Konami. Goddesses of Stardom Tag League hasn't been ran. Def Yamasan won 5-star Grand Prix. Cinderella tournament was won by Asuka. That was Venny from the AEW tournament, not my Asuka, obviously. Saki Kishima is the high speed champion. Layla Hirsch is the SWA Undisputed Women's World Champion. Riho is the Wonder of Stardom champion. And the World of Stardom Red Belt champion is Def Yamasan. I'll check Tokyo Joshi just in case any of my queens have won titles here. Yeah, fair enough. NXT United Kingdom. Mark Andrews and A-Kid are the tag team champions of 220 days. Zoe Lucas is the NXT UK Women's Champion. And still the NXT United Kingdom Champion, Volta. NXT Main, Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic hasn't been run yet. Adam Cole, baby, still the NXT Champion. Jake Atlas, the Cruiserweight Champion. North American Champion is Timothy Thatcher. Adrian Severe, apparently they've given him his cool old name back. And Marcel Bartel are the Tag Team Champions. And the Women's Champion is vacant. Because it was Rhea Ripley. Interesting development there. I'll check Developmental actually. Yeah. So this is our Developmental roster. Aaron Weber is a regen guy. He was at ROH Dojo actually. But we have him now. He's most famous for playing the Boogeyman in the Royal Rumble. Because the actual Boogeyman isn't in the mod. So if you go to his match history. Yeah. We have Ace Austin. Wait, was he not still in Impact? Or is he still in TNA if we have him? But he's dating Shotzi, so go on, King. Adam Cole, baby. 60 Pop, the NXT champion. Adam Maxted, NXT UK. Adrian Alanis. I'll actually name him Fabian Eichner. Oh, it's gone. Oh, we go down here. There we go. Alia James, Alex Gracia, Alex Vega, Alex Zane, Hammerstone, Alexander Wolf, Andrew Smith is a UK-based regen, Ava Valkyrie, Aria Blake, Ashley Vox, August Gray, Avery, Bernice Griffin is another UK-based graduate. We've got Boa, Bobby Fish, Brody King, Catalina, Kathy Cool, Chikara, Charlie Wyndham is a regen from Scotland, Chelsea Diamond, Chelsea Green, Chris Bay, Christy James, Colleen Frey is an American regen, Cora Jade, Cat Stallion, Dana Brooks down here, just getting better. She's actually doing alright, to be fair, look at these stats. Dana Deal is a British regen. Danny Jordan, Danny Burch, Daryl Storm, a regen. Dave Mastiff, Desmond Troy, Drake Chambers, who is a regen. Drake Younger, AJ Nduka, Eddie Urengo, Ernest Stark is a regen. Fabian Eichner, Fandango, Faye Jackson, Finn Balor, Morgan Webster, Frankie Kazarian, Franklin Vegas, George Campbell. I think it's pretty obvious you can tell who the regens are, so I'm not going to point them out anymore. Gigi Dolan is down here. We've got Vipress, who's Gina Biggs. Got Julia, Hannah Blossom, Harvey Campbell, Eva Lease, Jake Atlas, Jamie Hayer, Jason Jordan, Jeremy Borash, Jesse Cam Mayer, Jessica Carr, Jessica Troy, Jesse Berrick, Ginny, Joaquin Wild, Johnny Moss, Jordan Grace, Joseph Connors, Julia Gray, Karen Q, Kira Hogan, Kona Reeves, Kyle O'Reilly, Kylie Ray, Lana, Lauren Thatcher, Lee Psycho, Leon Ruff, Levi Moore, Lucky Kid, Mad Kurt, Maggot, Micah, Mansour, Marcel Bartel, Maria Shearer, Mark Bisping, Mark Brown, Mark Coffey, Mark Sherman, Marshall Von Erich, Mary Jo Foster, Matt Bloom, Matt Riddle, Mauro Ronaldo, Maya Yuhiki, Melissa, Mercedes Martinez, Michael Oku, The Ojmo, Minnie McKing, Mojo Rawley's down here, Nadi, Naomi, having the run of her life down here in NXT, to be fair to her. Go on, Queen. Got Nash Carter, Natalia Markova, Nathan Kelly, who is Drake Chambers' his tag team partner. I actually really like this tag team that I made of two regens called the Labyrinth, so we'll expect to see them at some point on the main roster, I guess. Natsumi, Nevaeh, Nigel McGuinness, Noam Dar, Norman Race, Norman Smiley, Pete Dunne, Primate, Prince Ahura, Raul Mendoza, Renee Brendan, Rhonda McDonald, Ricky Knight Jr., Ridge Holland, Rick Boogs, Rinku, Robbie Brookside, Roderick Strong, Ronnie Hughes, Rosemary, Ross Von Erich, Ryan Katz, Samir Singh, Santana Garrett, Sarah Amato, Sari Surav, Scott Taylor, Shawn Michaels, Skylar Moon, Sunil Singh, Taylor Hendricks, Tasha Steele, Tyler Valkyrie, Tegan Knox, Tenny Dashwood, the Brian Kendrick, Timothy Florian, Timothy Thatcher, Tommaso Ciampa, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, Tyler Breeze, Vanessa Bourne, Vic Joseph, Wesley, Regal, Willow Nightingale, Xylee, Yuki, Zatara, and Zoe Lucas and Zoe Stark. Fuck me, that took longer than I thought it was going to. Anyway. Draft pause. How can I actually get this up without spoiling anything? Because I just do want to show them. Oh, I know, I might have made a cool graphic, that's how. Yeah, so I'll just cover it up with a graphic. These are the pools for night 1 and night 2 of the draft, just so we're all aware. The rules are exactly the same as they are in real life, like rounds of 5. I believe there's going to be 7 rounds on Raw and 5 rounds on SmackDown of 5 picks each, 3 for Raw, 2 for SmackDown, because Raw's 3 hours, SmackDown's 2. Night 1 pool was going to have Randy Orton, Karrion Kross, Io Shirai, Shinsuke Nakamura, New Day, AJ Styles with Omos, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Bayley, Big E, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt with Susie, Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, the entire Casanovas of Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Nese, and Riddick Moss, Cedric and Dio Madden, Charlotte Flair, Dakota Kai, Daniel Bryan, Death from Above with Cynthia Crespo, all of J-Flow, Jinder Mahal, Kairi Sane, Lacey Evans, Liv Morgan, Mandy Rose, Miz and Morrison, Oney Lorcan, Path of the Dragon, the entire group, all 3 of the Purge, Raquel Gonzalez, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, Sheamus, Sonya Deville, the Stock Exchange, Cameron Grimes and Bo Dallas, Street Profits, Sugar Rush, Tony Storm, the Usos with Jacob Fatu, the Viking Raiders, all of VIP Nation, and all of the way, Gargano, Candice, Ruby, Akam, and, well, I guess not Akam anymore since he fucked off, so yeah, Gargano, Candice, Ruby, and Razor. And then night 2 is Bianca, Damian Priest, Rey and Dominik, AJ and Paige, Garza, Apollo, all 3 of Boss, Braun Strowman, Buddy Murphy, Carmella, Cesaro, Chad Gable, Drew Gulak, Edge and Christian, Ember and Shotzi, Ever Rise, Iconics, James Storm, Jeff Hardy, Kaylee Ray and Nikki Cross, Keith Lee, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, the Ninja Warriors, Otis, all of the Robert Stone brand, Roman Reigns, R-Truth, Seth Rollins, Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink, Shayna Baszler, and the entire Vega Mafia. Oof, goals. I need to go over the goals right now, so I've got the goals here. I feel like it hasn't been too long since I've been over these, because I went over them at the Rumble. Did I? Yeah, I think so. But Bo, he's in a good place to be pushed because he's in one of my favourite funny groups, and being in a comedy group is always fun. Apollo, big couple of months in store for him after what happened at Mania, obviously, when he turned on Daniel Bryan. So maybe that feud will continue, maybe it won't, depending on where they get drafted to. I genuinely can't remember if they're on the same show, so that isn't me hinting that it definitely will or it definitely won't. I honest to God can't remember right now. Tozawa and Luchasaurus, I guess, go hand in hand, as do Cameron Grimes and Bo, actually, and Tony Nese and Robert Roode, kind of, as well. So we've got biggest English person ever rise as well. R-Truth is still on course with Oney, Pete Dunne, and Finn to become WWE champions. There's no end goal specifically for Pete Dunne, so that will just obviously probably stay here until I can get him in the position for it, so there's no rush for that one. But there is for Sami Zayn, Oney Lorcan, and Finn Balor. And then Drew Gulak for becoming Midcard champion this year as well. Rey and Dominik, I can cross that one off, actually. We just did it at WrestleMania. Undisputed Era can't be called out for a year. Well, guess what? That year's up now, Amadou, you fucking prick. Women's Tag Team Titles main event pay-per-view could easily be done because they got a 78 at Mania, so that could be a main event. India Tour, get the fuck off here, bro. New youngest world champion, again, like Pete Dunne. It doesn't specifically say there's an end goal for that, so I'll just keep chugging along in the background for that one. I haven't forgotten about it, don't worry. Youngest world champion, 8-rated Mojo Rawley match. That's actually why he's back in NXT, honing his craft. So maybe he'll come up and have a sick run on the main roster where he gets a banger. New Illegitimate McMahon. Oh boy. Can't wait to write that one out. Rumble surprise return. Again, I'll work on it this year. I'm not going to count any of the ones that I did this year. I could be arsey and go, oh, well, technically I did it this year because I had fucking Julian Hall. No, that doesn't count, Connell. Come on. They mean somebody big. Women main event. We did that. And it was actually the better of the two main events. Funnily enough. And then all of these Australia pay-per-view 2021, I can do that. Odd Couple tag team, Miz and Elias tag team, could easily just happen. Otis franchise player, I don't know how much of a say I'll actually get in that, because I could get him to 100 pop, but if the game doesn't think he has the stats to be a franchise player, then the game won't put him in there. So I guess I've just got to keep like putting him in promos on like main event to get his mic skills up or whatever. But yeah, that's a long-term goal really. Carly's kind of been rivaling Truth already, but I'm not going to cross it off just yet because there's going to be more wacky shenanigans from those two next season. And debuting Rest had to go 50-0. I think I do have a couple of undefeated people on my roster. I don't think Karrion Kross. I don't think Jacob Fatu has been pinned either. So either of those could easily do it. Or it could be somebody new entirely. But yeah, those are the goals, the state of the goals now. About leaving new ones. Of course, I am going to be open for that because that's the fun of the save. The one thing I will say is I will accept some, but try not to bombard me with make this guy the world champion goals, because I have a lot of those, and it will eventually just get to the point where every month I'm changing the title. And whilst I will listen to the goals, it's still a challenge run, I will give the title to whoever I need to. I do kind of want to have fun myself, and just flipping the belt over to about 1 million people every month will take me out of the save. So obviously I will listen to a couple of them, but just try to chill with those ones, okay? Anything else is fair game. Anyone you want me to push is fair game. Any other miscellaneous goals? Fucking second India tour is fair game as well, I guess. But yeah, that's fine. Obviously there's gonna be a while before Raw starts anyway, so I'll have enough time to go over them all. And I plan out my year, so obviously the sooner you get them in, the more likely I am to actually factor them into my plans quicker than usual. But yeah, I believe that's everything. Slammy Award winners will be in the next video. I'll do a super special presentation for that one. And yeah. Oh, and I forgot the most important thing about the draft, actually. I may have made a cool graphic to put on the screen to go over the rules, and you may have read it on there. At any point, there are 3 NXT wildcards that you can use. Like in the first one they did the draft 2016, they were like, oh, a certain number of picks from NXT. There will be 3 NXT picks across the whole draft, but they can be wildcards that are used at any point. So your first pick could be an NXT person, your last pick could be an NXT person, whenever. Yeah, but there are 3 NXT wildcard picks in there. And of course, Drew McIntyre became franchise player by winning the triple threat. So along with 3 wishes, he gets immunity from the draft and is now the franchise tag player of Monday Night Raw. So he will stay put. But yeah, I believe that's everything. Been over the show, been over the pops, haven't been over the stables actually. Just a quick look through those. Got Boss here, they're still chugging along doing their thing. Death from Above technically still count. J-Flow, they're still going to be doing their thing, don't you worry about them. Casanova's sort of a part-time faction at this point, but they're still together. Message, what a year they're going to have in my plans. New Day isn't really a faction anymore, so I need to make them inactive. Purge is now only 3 members strong. Robert Stone Brand, The Way, and the Vega Mafia and the IP Nation, of course. There we go. Tag teams, Aaliyah and Brandy, Biggie and Woods I can make inactive. Dakota and Raquel I can make inactive. Death from Above, Ziggler and Roode, Everrise, Kari and Io, Ninja Warriors, Path of the Dragon, Sugar Rush, Iconics, Lost Souls. Yeah, these all seem fine. Yeah. I believe that is everything. Again, yeah, leave the suggestions for goals in the comments. Don't be scared off by putting so and so to become world champion. Like, you still can if you want to. It's just I've been bombarded with them, and I'll probably still pick 1 or 2, but I'm less likely to pick them all, is what I'm saying. Because I don't want to just have too many of them. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you next time for the Slammies video, and if I get the TEW pay-per-views tier list video out, that one as well. And until then, I guess, see you next time for episode 121. No, this is 121, isn't it? Yeah, I probably will put this in the playlist. So 122, which will be Raw after WrestleMania and Draft Day Night 1. See you then.